first off, what is, soccer team sport, but as the keeper, what is working for you right now in posting those shutouts?
The main thing that I changed up this year is going into the game a little bit differently. Like previous years, I would go in, I would have like my own playlist, and I'd have to be alone, and like get in my own zone. But now I'm just kind of like with the team and just more of like a relaxed vibe going into the games, and I think that's working out for me a lot better than being on my own.
Is there anything before the season that you guys changed up on defense to kind of, help? Is there any changes that you made to see a difference this year?
Well, we switched from a 4 at the back to sort of a 3/5 at the back hybrid, and I think that's working out a lot better. We have a lot more passing options out of the back, and when times get tough, when we're getting pressed, we're able to find our outside backs or hit it long a lot easier. So that leaves like a little bit less of pressure on me as a goalkeeper or on the defense when we have those options to get rid of the ball.
Still a lot of season left, but after what has happened your first couple of years at Humboldt, how rewarding is it to start off winning 3 of your first 4?
Oh, it's incredible. I was talking with Fred over the weekend, and we can't remember the last time where we had 2 shutouts in a row and then three wins on the road in a row, and it's amazing. So we have very high hopes for the rest of the season.
For you coming in as a freshman, now junior, and nothing's been handed to you. You came to Humboldt and fighting, for the starting job, and that you have it, and that showing the results. How does it make you feel that being the starter and showing why you should be the starter?
It's very rewarding because coming into HSU, I had pretty much no other options for athletics. This was kind of like my only spot, and coming in and then redshirting a year and then being able to start my freshman year, switch off my sophomore year, and now start my junior year, it's an amazing feeling because I just think of it as like I'm a kid from Humboldt County that not a lot of sports teams are really recruiting from up here in Humboldt County. There's not much soccer prospects out here. So it's really awesome to say that I'm playing college soccer. I'm living one of my dreams is to play college soccer. So every day I'm thankful for Fred for the program, just thankful for my body for staying in shape, and then being able to, like I said, live my dream.
You guys head back to the Bay Area this weekend. This have conference play, but how your entry conference play with that winning streak, how huge is that with that momentum going into the conference opener?
Yeah, like you said, that momentum is very big. We have a lot of confidence in ourselves going into it. Like these 2 games this weekend are very winnable for us. So if we're able to go in and then be 5-1 going into 2 weekends of home games, that's going to be spectacular for our season. We're going to have loads of confidence going into those games and hopefully end this year on a winning streak for the first time in a while.
A couple of things that I talked to Fred about. One is selflessness on a soccer team. He said that you guys are. And in fact, he said that he really couldn't single out one or even a small group of players. He said that the entire team pretty much epitomized that. How would you describe it? Maybe just elaborate a little bit on his generalities, and maybe help me understand who are the guys, including yourself, who really epitomized the selflessness on the team.
Well, over the past few years, we've had a lot of kids that we would consider as prima donnas that were very full of themselves and would take it upon themselves to put on the cape and win us games. And as a team sport, it's not an individual sport, so that we play a team sport, it's very important to have 11 players on the field that no one is bigger than the other. So I think this year especially, I feel that we're like the closest to being a team that we have been in a few years, that no one really takes it upon themselves to win the game. We work as a team and then we get the results. That's how it should be, and that's how, starting off, I think we're doing a very good job of that.
That was pretty strong emotion. I can feel that. That is pretty darn important to you, isn't
Yep,
it?
very much so.
What is your role in establishing that characteristic for your team?
So, being a goalkeeper is probably one of the worst positions you could be on the field, because there's no line of defense behind you to make up for a mistake. If you're a forward, you have 3 other lines of defense behind you to possibly fix that mistake and then go on a counterattack, for example. But being a goalkeeper, it's a little bit different. You got to not necessarily be perfect in every situation, but be the best that you can be and constantly be focused throughout the whole game. And I've definitely matured over the last 2 years. My freshman year was a prime example of where I would go out of my way to try and fix mistakes, and that may or may not have been my role to step into, and I caused my team to let in goals. And this year I've more matured in a sense to where I'm able to step in when I'm needed, but it's all part of like being a team. There's no one person that's better than anyone else out on the field. We all have to work together to get the result.
Coach said that he would describe your transition game as pretty efficient, that there's not a lot of wasted motion out there. Would you agree with that?
I would agree very much so. I'm working on different types of distribution, whether it be different styles of goal kicks, throwing the ball out, hitting side volleys and stuff like that. So when the ball goes out of bounds, for example, and I'm needed to take a goal kick, I feel like my ability to pick up the ball and put it back into play very quickly has gotten a lot better over the past few years.
How about like situation recognition? Are you able to pinpoint weaknesses and direct your teammates?
Yes, that has also come with maturity, that I've been in the game so college soccer is a little bit different than high school soccer, and the transition
To say the
between
least.
Yeah, exactly. And the transition between high school and college soccer was a little difficult for me my freshman year, but with maturity I've been able to realize certain situations where I can take my eyes off the ball for a few seconds, direct my defense, and then get back to the ball, whereas I didn't really do that my freshman and sophomore year. And that caused us to get goals scored on us through crosses or corner kicks, stuff like that.
More of a personal question. Being from Humboldt and staying close to home, do you ever have a moment where you just say to yourself, did I make the right decision?
Yeah, from time to time I think back and wonder, like, what if I did something different? But at the end of the day, I'm doing what I love. I've played this sport my entire life, going on 18 years now, and I didn't have any other options besides Humboldt State. I could have gone somewhere else to go to school, but to play soccer in my hometown and be around my friends and family that I went to high school with, that's just icing on the cake. Like, I don't want it any other way.
So you're not only not second guessing yourself, but if I hear you correctly, you're saying that if given the choice, this would have been your choice.
I would do it all over again. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for me.
Perfect.
Is that your family?